Hi everyone. I am going to be making something for dinner tonight that I wouldn't normally make for dinner. Probably because there's just like one too many steps. But I've been wanting to make this for a long time, so I decided just make it. It's going to be an Italian stuffed cabbage, but it will be vegetarian. So I'll be using tofu instead of any kind of like ground beef or anything like that. And I'm going to be using purple cabbage because that's what I have. So yeah, I hope it tastes good. I'm going to accompany it with polenta. The first thing you want to do is my tofu is how many ounces? Let's see, 14 ounces, so just under 2 pounds. So I need about 8 leaves. Okay, so I've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 more. I never realized it's a bit tricky removing these. Right? They can rip quite easily, and that's okay. If they happen to rip a little bit, that's all right. But I want to get it off. Yeah, that was pretty good. That's perfect, actually. So 5. Just gonna get the garlic going here. As soon as you smell the garlic, you're ready to keep cooking, adding your other ingredients. So I'm gonna add the tofu that's been, kind of mashed up to look like ground beef. Even though I already have garlic in there, I'm gonna add some more garlic. Garlic salt, sorry, because you can never have enough. And if you're gonna have salt, might as well have garlic. And then a mix of Italian herbs. Remember, tofu is a blank slate, so you really gotta add, lots of spices and herbs and stuff. And this is just crushed red pepper flakes. Now, the recipe calls for tomato paste, but I don't have any tomato paste. So, I'm going to be using some ketchup. Look away. The good thing about using ketchup is that oftentimes you add a little bit of sugar anyway to tomato sauce to kind of get rid of some of that acidity. And there's sugar in ketchup, right? So I'm hoping it tastes good. Like, I don't have tomato paste, and I know it needs tomato in there. Another thing the recipe calls for that I don't have is like breadcrumbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toast a piece of bread and crumb it up. I'm also going to add just a squeeze of lemon juice because I think Italian food, lemon juice just makes all the flavors even better. I'm going to do a little bit of a taste test to see if the flavors are alright, because the next step is I have to cool it down, add the breadcrumbs that I'm making, and an egg to bind. So I just want to make sure that, The flavors are good. It's good. I think it needs a little bit more salt though. And do you mind tasting it? I can taste the spice. The crushed red pepper. Does it need salt? Probably not, right?
Swap out the ketchup for the salt, you perfect.
Does it need salt?
It's so spicy.
But you can't tell, right? Because of the spice. I don't think I can tell if it needs salt because it's like spicy. All right.
I always say it needs salt, so.
I'm gonna take one more little bite. Hold on. It's driving me nuts that I can't tell. I hate to say this, but I feel like I want to put more ketchup. Because it tastes good. No, I'm not going to do that. Why? Because when you actually wrap the cabbage rolls and you put them to bake, I will be adding diced tomatoes. So that's more tomato taste. So I'm not going to do that. Another thing we have to do with the cabbage is just remove this really hard piece. I think this would go really well, the purple cabbage, with like an Asian flavored stuffed recipe. This one's a little broken, but that's okay. Here we have the tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, that's gonna go on top of the cabbage rolls while we're baking it. It doesn't come with any seasonings or anything. It's fire roasted tomatoes. So I've added some garlic salt, Italian seasonings. I'm not gonna add red pepper flakes because I think the tofu is spicy enough. So that doesn't really need to do much except heat up and get those seasonings mixed in. This has cooled down enough, and so I feel like I can add the egg in and the bread. Like I said, I literally just toasted a piece of bread because I don't have breadcrumbs, and I'm just gonna mash it up in here. I used to think these things mattered, guys. And I found that food tasted really good no matter what. So. Oh man, guys, I don't know how this rolls. I don't think my leaves are big enough. Alright friends, this is the way it's supposed to look, okay? But that's alright. How is it?
Good. Better. Did you add something?
I don't think so. I added bread and egg.
Just soften it out.
So I think what went wrong is my leaves are not big enough.
How are you?
If you haven't made polenta before, you should know that it yields a lot. I'm making half a cup because when I make a cup, it lasts like a week and some of it might go to waste. So to avoid that, I'm just gonna do half a cup. And for measurements, it's half cup polenta. It's 1 part polenta to 4 parts liquid. So I usually do like 90% of that is water, and then 10% of that is a combination of like oat milk and maybe a little cream, depending on what I have on hand. Polenta is a little bit of a labor of love. This is not instant polenta, so it takes a bit to cook, and you really have to kind of like stay on top of it. So this is going to take a little bit. I'd say at least 20 minutes. Alright, what do we think? Ooh. It needs to stay covered for another 5 minutes. All right, my friends, what do you think? How does that look to you? I'm gonna take a bite now. It's good, guys. It's really good. I'm glad I made it. Have a good night. See you later.